All right, so this week's question is, why am I gritty in some areas of my life, but not gritty in others? And what an awesome question this week. Sort of threw me for a loop, I'm not going to lie. So I did research on this and I had my own feelings on it. And I went to Angela Duckworth's website. She's the one that wrote the book Grit. It's fantastic if you haven't seen it. And she said, grit, when you think about it, it's good to consider what grit is not. And she says, grit isn't talent, it isn't luck, and it's not how intensely for the moment you want something. Instead, as she goes on to explain, it's about that one goal or those few goals in your life that matter to you so much, you're not going to quit. You're not going to give up on it. So when we look at her definition of that and what grit isn't, it's okay to be gritty or quote unquote gritty in some areas of your life, but not be as gritty in other areas. Another way to think of this is, say you're wanting to go get your master's or a PhD. That's going to require a significant amount of time, significant amount of study. So if you are pursuing something like that, you wouldn't also want to throw on to that learning to be an expert at guitar, learning taekwondo. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. Being gritty is really focusing on those few things in life, those few goals in life that really matter and that are backed by a very strong why. So I hope that helps answer this week's question. It's really good. Don't get down on yourself if you're not as gritty in some areas as your life as you are in others, but think about those. You can really distill it down into those few goals in your life. We all have just a few goals, really, when it comes down to it, that really matter the most. And if you're struggling with coming up with that, ask yourself why. I always go back to that why question. Ask yourself why you're doing something, and ask yourself why again, and then ask yourself why again. And that's going to reveal your real motivation. And then grit's just all about having the discipline to take you there. So keep the questions coming in, y'all. I love doing this. Have a great week.